Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul,
And I'm Dave.
and this week we're discussing the episode of Angel, Home. This episode originally aired May 7th, 2003, attracting approximately 3.95 million viewers. So, let us start off with the number one song in America, Dave. What would it be?
Hoping it's something different, but I suppose we'll stick with what we've had over the last, what has it been? Almost 10 weeks now?
3, 6. We're at week 9,
Oh,
I think, or
almost
10.
10 weeks.
I don't remember. Uh, Actually, Dave, we have a new song.
Hooray!
I'm not going to say it's a better song, though.
Oh no!
It's a song called Get Busy by Sean Paul.
Okay. It could have supposedly been worse.
Yes. I'm not familiar with the song because it's just not my thing.
Meh.
Okay, so number one movie in America this week, Dave. So last week we had Identity with just over $16.2 million. Did that hold going into the beginning of May?
Well, I've done something a little bit different this week, and I tried to do a little bit of research, kind of not super in depth, but kind of more what were kind of the things that were happening around in this year. And one particular thing kind of entered and came to mind, and I'm curious if it kind of started now or if it wasn't until later on. Would it have been the I can't remember the exact title of it, but one of the Matrix movies?
Oh, you're so close. No, this week with $85.5 million at the box office, it is X2.
Again, it's there, but it doesn't immediately ring a bell.
The second X-Men movie.
Oh, yes, with that one. I thought it was a different thing.
No,
Curse
no.
you, video game, and having a closer title.
No. You were close because Matrix Reloaded would be the middle of the month.
Uh,
Yes. But yeah, X2 was a good movie.
yes, I believe so.
Yeah, unfortunately, X-Men 3 was not. But,
Yeah, and that's sadly the only one that's actually coming to mind because it had the flipping juggernaut in it.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Uh,
Anyway, moving on to video games. Now, as usual, we're only going to cover the week immediately after this release, and then next season we'll talk about like what happened over the summer. Actually, you know what? We'll cover all of May because there's not a ton, and that kind of makes it easier. Okay, so May 12th, a few days after this episode aired, if you had a GameCube, PS2, Xbox, or a Game Boy Advance, you could pick up a little game called Finding Nemo.
yes, because that was a movie at around the time.
Yes, and I believe it holds the record as the highest-selling DVD of all time.
I suppose not super surprising, but I would have expected that it would have been something different. Yeah,
Yeah, Finding Nemo is the best-selling DVD title of all time with over 40 million copies sold as of 2006.
there you go.
That's insane. That movie was fucking massive. Anyway, if you were also on May 12th, if you were a PC gamer, you could finally get your hands on Grand Theft Auto Vice City,
Neat.
which is, in my opinion, the best Grand Theft Auto game. Also on May 12th, if you were a Game Boy Advance player, you could pick up a little game called Iridian 2. It's some kind of side-scrolling space shooter. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Also on May 12th, if you're a PC gamer and you really like The Sims, you could pick up The Sims Superstar.
Because, it was a thing. Back in the old times when any sort of update to a game was just made as a game itself.
Well, technically you had to have the base game, and then these were like DLC packs.
Yes.
May 14th, if you were a PC gamer, GameCube, PS2, or Xbox, you could pick up Enter the Matrix.
Yeah, that's probably where I saw it from because it was around that time. It's like, oh, there's this game was coming out, and then we played it and it had the particular things. It's like, oh god, so cool! It's like the movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's ever been a good Matrix game.
Yeah, no, like this would be about it, and even then, it wasn't amazing.
There's also another one called The Path of Neo, but I don't think it was very good either. Oh no, it got pretty decent reviews from some places. Not amazing though. Anyway, May 20th, if you were an Xbox gamer, you could pick up Inside Pitch 2003.
Yay, supposed baseball?
I'm assuming so. It is such an important game to the history of gaming that it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Oh, there you go.
May 20th, if you're a PC gamer, you could pick up Rise of Nations.
Supposed yay?
It's like a real-time strategy game, kind of like, I guess the best way to explain it to someone like you who doesn't necessarily play a lot of those games would be like an Age of Empires kind of thing.
Nah, that's kind of what I was picking up, but I was questioning whether it was one of the start of those particular sorts of franchises or an older one that kind of got a redo.
I don't know if there was a sequel to. I don't think this became a series. I think it was just a one-off.
Uh,
Okay, so also on May 20th, if you're a PC gamer and you weren't into a real-time strategy game, you could pick up Planet Side.
yeah. Supposed planet simulator?
No, it's a MMO first-person shooter.
Nah, understandable.
And apparently it got a sequel, even. I've never heard of this game, but okay. I guess somebody liked it.
No.
May 21st, if you're a portable gamer with a Game Boy Advance, you could pick up WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games.
Yes, because that was a series that was coming into existence.
Yes, and those games... Look, I know that, like, they're dumb, but they are fun.
Indeed. Amazing thing to have at a party and do a quick little thing and a little shot of insanity.
I always said that those games were perfect on portable because they were like, if you're just riding the bus, you can just play like a couple of quick games and then go. Like it,
Yeah.
yeah, they were perfect for stuff like that. Bring it back, Nintendo.
I'm sure they're still around, but I think it's one of those particular cases of I'm wondering if there's any sort of mobile game that they've worked with the WarioWare series.
Well, they did make like a console version, which I thought was really dumb. Because I'm like the whole point of it was that they were quick, kind of pick up and play, and not like, you know.
Yeah, with that. The additional thing I think with that one is they started to branch a little bit more out into different gameplay styles, especially with the multitude of characters you could play as have different gameplay styles, and it definitely seemed a little bit more party style than it was quick pick up and play.
Yeah, apparently there was one for the Switch that came out in 2021, and I do not remember it at all. So, you know. May 23rd, if you were a PC gamer, you could pick up Ghostmaster.
Yay, Master of Ghosts.
It looks like it's it's they say it is a where was it? I read it here. Like a puzzle game.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. May 27th, if you had an Xbox, you could pick up Brute Force.
Supposed yay. Again, it's kind of one of those particular things of they make a video game with a super simple title with a super simple premise that most likely nobody played.
Dave, it's 2003. It was a third-person squad-based shooter.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not exactly within that sort of mindset. I was not within the shooter crowd.
May 28th, if you're a PC gamer, PS2, GameCube, or Xbox, you could pick up Hulk.
Yes, because that was also a thing. Well, they tried, but it was that first movie.
Yeah, it sure was. And also, on May 28th, not to confuse anyone at all, because that would be silly, if you had a Game Boy Advance, you could pick up The Incredible Hulk.
Because supposedly that was same thing or something else entirely.
I think they're, like, actually quite different games.
Yeah, because that was kind of the thing. I think it was kind of the case that they got the Hulk movie out, and it's like, oh my gosh, we can make a Hulk game. But wait, the Hulk movie wasn't exactly super great. We could start bringing back things from the comics. Oh my gosh.
If only they actually did.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us get into the episode now that we're, 10 minutes in.
Indeed.
Okay. Wesley doubts that the Lila before them is real. Angel and his preternatural vampire senses confirms that it really is her. Lila also shows her beheading scar as she explains that the senior partners, the ruling council of Wolfram and Hart, who are based in Hell, are offering them control of the LA branch as a thanks for bringing back chaos and discord to Los Angeles. Which, while the group...
supposedly unintentionally with what they were doing.
Yes, which the group intended for the greater good. On the streets, while people raid stores, Connor spots a cop on top of a building and catches him before he shoots himself with his own gun. The confused cop reveals he has a family and that the area is home. Enraged by the thought that the man would leave his family, Connor attacks the cop. Wesley confides his doubts to Gunn, worrying his remaining feelings for Lila cloud his perspective. Lauren returns without news on Connor or Cordelia, but the news that mayhem had been released on the streets in the aftermath. Angel warns the others against going to Wolfram and Hart, but as dawn approaches, the group finds themselves drawn to the offering of touring the Wolfram and Hart offices. One by one, they sneak off and get into the limo, surprised to see others there. Except Lauren, who is the first one in that limo because they have drinks.
Yeah.
I do love how he's like, I know it's an evil limo, but like, come on, you couldn't replace the cherries. That was good stuff, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
At the office, the group is approached by guides for their individual tours. Lauren is introduced to the manager of the entertainment department, who gives Lauren a glimpse of the talent managed by the firm. Wesley's guide, the former watcher Rutherford Cirque, impresses him with a vast collection of mystical references. Fred's guide is Knox, a smart young man who shows off the science department, which she would run. Lila shows Angel to his new office, private elevator, and special windows that allow him to be in the sun without burning. She presents him with a file labeled Sunnydale, and an amulet that Buffy needs for her upcoming battle with the first evil, but he still acts uninterested. But when Lila shows him a TV news report about Connor holding several people hostage, including the comatose Cordelia, in a sporting goods store, Angel is finally ready to make a deal. Gunn is met by an attractive woman, and after mentioning he does not see how he would fit in at Wolfram and Hart, she takes him on a long elevator ride to the White Room. Alone in the room, Gunn is greeted by a Black Panther. Connor shouts at one of his captives, who struggles to hold his crying daughter because of his broken arm. Then notices that Angel has arrived. Meanwhile, Wesley knocks Cirque unconscious and makes his way to the records room, where Lila finds him searching through the files. Wesley finds her contract with the law firm and burns it in an effort to set her free, but the contract just reappears within the drawer. She says she already knew the price when she signed the contract, but still appreciates the gesture. Angel cautiously approaches Connor as the team warns the hostages are rigged with explosives. As Connor rises, revealing that he and his still unconscious Cordelia are rigged similarly. He rages that he cannot seem to feel anything but unloved. Angel tries to promise a better future, but Connor, unconvinced, starts to push the detonation trigger. Angel punches him, yanks the trigger from the explosive around Connor, and releases the hostages, throwing a knife into Connor's leg before he can enter Cordelia. Promising to prove his love, Angel brings the knife down in a deadly blow, fulfilling the prophecy. What's going to happen? In the lobby, the others are considering accepting their job offers. Then Angel says he already took the deal on their behalf. Lila confirms that Cordelia is getting the best care and vows to ensure that she recovers from her coma. Completing their deal, Angel asks to see Connor, and Lila reluctantly agrees to let it happen, despite it not being part of the deal. She hands over the folder on Sunnydale along with the amulet, and Angel leaves to see Connor, who the others seem to have forgotten existed. A limo takes Angel to a cabin in the woods where he spies through the window. Connor sits with his new family as they enjoy dinner and laugh about a promising college life before him. Angel walks away, pleased that his son has a new life filled with love and happiness that he lacked. So, what do we think of this episode?
Oh boy, this is a thing. It's still kind of a thing. It just, dirty fire and all this stuff. So, first the funny things. Lauren was a riot with this episode. Just the fact that he was in the limo first was just hilarious. But just the case that his tour guide coming up, all the entertainment and whatnot. Dude, there's no way that I'm trusting you. Shows up the folder. It's like, see all the people that I ever wanted to meet in my life. All right, let's go. It's like, oh, Lauren, you are a treasure.
Yes, Lauren is awesome.
Indeed. And I think, again, it was also interesting splitting off and seeing everyone's kind of reactions to things, with Fred especially taking the gun along with her and seeing all the labs and whatnot. It was definitely interesting, but she's one of the ones that still isn't super convinced about working with Wolfram and Hart, even at the end of the episode.
Yeah, because Wolfram and, Lila offers them all, weapons and not gun. Fred is the only one who takes one, and she's got, this AR-15 she's walking around with, and it's super funny.
Mm-hmm. And then, especially with Leslie, just with all of his experience. And again, I can't remember if the specific other watcher that was the tour guide was involved in any of the episodes previously or any sort of thing like that, but just seeing all the things from there and him kind of, I'm not sure if it's either MacGyvering or kind of sneaking through Wolfram and Hart to get to the archives and whatnot, was always cool to see from Wesley.
Yes.
But just the big thing with Gunn, case of having his tour guide and him being, yeah, everyone else sort of seems kind of important, but I don't see the reason why he's here. And he seems to be the only one that went to the White Room meeting with the new head in charge who appeared as the Panther. The case of,
Okay. So do you have any idea what their plan for Gunn is?
Not really, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be the something interesting, but something probably not super great.
It's definitely going to be interesting. I wonder how you're going to react to it, because they kind of are not. They kind of do, but kind of don't change Gunn's character a bit.
Okay, but then of course I suppose the biggest thing is all the stuff with Angel, like everything that Lila shows him and whatnot. Yeah, he's not into it, but as soon as Connor comes into the picture, I think I really missed it with kind of watching through the episode that it came to that sort of point, and yay, happy ending in that sort of case, but also kind of the case of when it happened is like, wait, what happened? Why did they forget them immediately? And then when you sort of brought up the information about it again, it's like, oh, right, that was a thing.
Yeah, so Angel clearly has made a deal with Wolfram and Hart to erase everybody's memory of Connor and to kind of give Connor this happy life with a regular family. And I'm sure that won't...
It kind of doesn't hurt, because, oh man, that boy has been through the ringer.
And I'm sure that won't come back to bite him in the ass, ever.
Because it's Wolfram and Hart.
Yeah, Angel has made a literal deal with the devil. And those always notoriously turn out so well. Also, you brought up the other Watcher who was in this episode, Rutherford Cirque. You were wondering, it is his first appearance, but not his last. I will say that. What do we have about this episode? So a couple of important things that I don't think technically are really spoilers, but I guess kind of maybe. So this will be the last episode that Charisma Carpenter and Vincent Kartheiser are regulars, but they will both make guest appearances in season 5. So that's Cordelia and Connor. So they will not be, they will not be regulars after this, but they'll still pop up every once in a while.
There we go.
Yes. There was something else I wanted to bring up. Yes, so obviously we see in this episode Angel gets the amulet that Spike will end up wearing at the Battle of the Hellmouth at the end of Buffy. So that was kind of a nice little way to kind of link those two together again.
There you go.
That will, I'm sure, not come back at all in season 5. So, what are you kind of expecting in season 5?
Well, there's one particular episode that I have decent knowledge of.
You mean the best episode?
Yes. But also the case of... I'm not sure if it's just either from previous experience seeing clips or series within the same sort of episode, but it's going to be shifting a little bit more, or I guess kind of shifting more into the style of, I wouldn't exactly say crime episodes, but kind of more daily work business sort of things, with them having the whole Wolfram and Hart outfit of them going out, taking care of particular sorts of things, or side stories of missions and other little things that are kind of going on.
Okay.
I think at the very most, I think it's just kind of the case of what kind of big bad evil is going to kind of come around to really shake things up, supposedly.
Are you expecting any new characters in season 5? Or maybe characters that were on Buffy coming over to Angel?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised with either guest appearances, but I'm not really sure if it'd be a case of them coming over to Angel. I wouldn't be out of the question, I suppose. But then as with new characters, I wouldn't be surprised, but whether or not they would last more than an episode or two, I think would be kind of the case.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you we are going to get some transplants from Buffy. I'm not going to tell you who, but some folks are going to make the jump. And it is going to be good.
Radio's that.
Because it is going to make Angel very unhappy.
Doesn't just about everything?
Well, yes, but these two people in particular. And I say people loosely.
Yeah, duly noted.
Anyway, let us quickly do some international titles for this episode. Alrighty. Oh, no, that's for next week. Not this one. Okay. So international titles. So in Czech, it translates as family. In Finnish, to a new home. In French, a real family. In German, a tempting offer. Which I like all of those.
Yeah, just with the last two, it was kind of like, yeah, give it the gut punch.
Oh, yeah. That's what the show does. I'm also going to warn you, season 4, obviously, I think we can both agree, was not the best season of this show.
Yeah.
There were definitely some low points. Season 5, you remember how when we were watching Buffy, I warned you about a certain episode before it happened?
Yeah.
You know, with the body and everything?
Yeah.
I'm going to warn you right now that Angel Season 5 has an episode that might be sadder.
Duly noted.
It's not right away, but they do that. You know how on Joss Whedon shows, like, he'll give you a really fun, lighthearted episode and then, like, punch you in the soul with the next one?
Oh, okay. It's good to know that he hasn't changed it up in any sort of way.
Oh, I think this might be the worst version of that. In the sense that you get such a fun, goofy episode, and then, like, the next week, it's just like, take that in your soul.
No, it's just kind of getting all the... No, it seems to kind of be a bit of a process. Like a bad thing happens, day kind of seems bad. You get the terrible injury, and then just everything in their grandma just decides to pile up on top of you.
Yeah, so there's one particular two like episode thing that we're gonna go through that I do apologize in advance for, because you're gonna laugh and have a great time, and then you're gonna be horribly unhappy.
Duly noted.
So until next time, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.